Hey, my name is Ryan, and before I get into the overview of this tool, I just want to say thank you for helping us out with this beta test. This is something that would be dead in the water without your commitment to help us out. So, thank you. This evangelism tool, Bless Tracker, is designed to fit into your already busy schedule. There are many people doing this beta test that already informed me that they'd be out of town for a portion of this beta testing period. And that's okay because the primary thing that drives this tool is prayer. And that's something that can be done even while you're out of town. This tool is a points based system that gives you a score on how well you are doing in laying the groundwork for evangelism, both prayerfully and relationally, before having a gospel conversation with your neighbors, your friends, or your family. You'll be receiving an email with a link to the prototype version of this tool. Save that email, as you'll be using that same link for the entire 30-day beta test process. When you click on the link, regardless of if it's on a computer or on a mobile device, you'll be taken to a Google Forms screen that looks very similar to this. Now, here's a quick side note. If something looks weird or doesn't work properly, try this link in a different browser. For some reason, this form doesn't look correct on my screen when I used my preferred browser, Google Chrome, but it loads perfectly in Safari. So I'm using Safari to access this Google form. But besides that little snafu, this tool is incredibly easy to use. The first thing you'll need to fill out is your own email address. For the prototype test to work properly, we ask that you please enter the same email address for the entire 30-day process. Next is a blank for the name of your friend you are trying to bless. We are asking each tester to prayerfully consider 3 individuals to use the process with, each one being somebody that is not yet a follower of Jesus. We are also asking that at least one of those friends be one that you have not yet had a gospel conversation with. If you need help identifying who that might be, I'll include some pointers in a subsequent video. So let's put a name here, and then we'll leave the date field blank because today is the day I'm going to be doing the reporting for. But if you need to go back and report on a previous day's activities, please indicate that date in this field. Now we're done with the hard part. The rest is simply putting a check mark next to the activities you were able to complete on the day that you're reporting for, and with the friend that is listed at the top of this form. Each checklist item has a certain amount of points associated with it, and the higher your score is per individual, the more open we think they'll be to having a meaningful gospel conversation. I've personally found this to be true. And let me just say, it is so refreshing and even exciting to have somebody say, I'm not sure what I think about Jesus just yet, but are we still on for dinner tomorrow? It's so refreshing for a gospel conversation to happen, but because of the relational equity that exists, for it to not end the relationship when they say no. It's a very powerful thing. And for clarification, there are some things on this list that may never happen between you and the person you are aiming to bless. Maybe, for instance, you're not in a position to comfortably host somebody for a meal or coffee over at your place because your roommate is an animal and refuses to clean up after themselves. That's okay. The idea behind the Bless Tracker tool is that each checklist item represents an option, not a requirement, for how to build a prayerful and relational foundation from which to share the good news of Jesus from. Now, as we're looking at this very first checklist item, let me hit timeout and share a cheat with you real quick. This checklist item, I spent time and intentional prayer from my friend, is one that hypothetically we should all be able to check off for every single day of this 30-day period. But what I've personally found to be true is that I don't actually spend intentional time in prayer like this on a daily basis. And for that, this tool is a great reminder that this is the least that I could be doing if I'm going to say that I really care about the unbelievers around me finding their way to Jesus. Now, here's the cheat. If I'm filling out this report for today and I realize that I have not yet spent intentional time in prayer for my friend, there's no better time than right now to do this. Spend 30 seconds praying for your friend by name and then check this box before you hit submit. Boom! An easy way to cheat on a test while not falling into sin. I'll be sending out explainer videos for each one of these checklist options listed here, just in case you have any questions at all or if you need ideas on how to complete the activity. And sprinkled in several of these explainer videos will also be different ways that I've found to cheat this Blessed Tracker system, all for God's glory. But after these explainer videos, if you still have questions that are unanswered, please email your questions to blesstracker@gmail.com. After you're done with your check marks, simply scroll to the bottom of the form and click Submit. Easy as that. But please don't forget to do the form again for the other friends you're aiming to bless. The simplest way to do that is after you hit submit, click on Submit Another Response. That's it. I'm praying for each of you by name throughout this process, and I'm excited to see how God moves through this beta test. And please don't hesitate to email me with any clarifying questions you might have. You can email me at blesstracker@gmail.com. Blessings.